Let's try to concentrate in what we are good at, which we've been keeping fairly simple because we do food and we do water, and that's what we do in emergencies. But then we even in emergencies, which emergencies do we respond? And we kind of said, okay, natural events, but yeah, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanoes. But now I cannot believe we are in the middle of a refugee crisis created by a war that should not be happening. And man, this breaks your heart. Breaks your heart.
The war in Ukraine began on February 24th, and on February 25th, my colleague Sam arrived with 2,000 hot meals for people entering from Ukraine.
Bananas are the perfect food. Why? Because you peel them, they're clean. The fruit that comes with its own container.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Gracias.
There are 7 border crossings between Poland and Ukraine, and we are serving hot meals at every one of them.
Probably the best one we've done yet.
We're also in Hungary, Romania, Moldova, as well as Ukraine itself, and will continue to grow as refugees continue to flee the country of Ukraine.
Amazing. Welcome, everybody, to Stand Up with Ukraine. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Please give yourselves a round of applause for being here, for just being yourselves and doing a good thing for people that we don't know, but definitely who need our help. I will encourage everybody, as you are able, as long as you don't have any crazy background noise happening, please unmute your mic. If you don't want to turn on your video, no sweat. We don't need to know who you're not supposed to be sitting beside right now. It's totally fine. But we would definitely love to hear you laugh. As the comics, it makes our job so much easier. So as you're able, please do that. If at any point in the show, you need to phone a friend, go to the washroom, yell at your spouse, let's not make that a group activity. Mute your mic for that. You know, I like you, but I don't like you that much. So I'm just letting you know now. But we are here tonight supporting World Central Kitchen. You just saw the little video there. I am just flabbergasted by how quickly they get on the ground and get good food to people who need it, whether they have to stay in the Ukraine. As we know, some of the young men and older men got to stay. They can't go with their families across the border. They have to fight. And those who just aren't able to leave or maybe don't want to. World Central Kitchen is getting them some good food. So thank you so much for donating and supporting and being with us tonight. We're really, really glad you're here. We have an amazing lineup of awesome comics, including yours truly. Just a humble brag. Just a little humble brag there, friends. For those who don't know me, and for those who do, I am Kelly Zemnickis. I am based here in Toronto, Canada. And I don't know about you, but I don't always love how I look in photos. I don't know if anyone kind of gets that feeling. I don't always love my pictures, especially as a comedian, when I'm like getting a photo taken of me on stage. I tend to have this vibe of like, I want to speak to a manager in most of my pictures. It's really weird. Most of my stand-up shots, I have my hand on my hip and like my hand out. It's no matter what I seem to be talking about, I'm always like, yeah, but what about this? It is super annoying. I'm loving doing the Zoom comedy, even if Toronto's kind of back to life to a certain degree. I love being here on the computer with everybody because I'll be honest with you. My Etsy store is not doing that great, so it's it's just nice to be on the computer and not cry. You know, so I work really hard on my art. That's cool. That's cool. As we are doing tonight, raising money for World Central Kitchen, I do consider myself a foodie. I do. I'm an OG foodie though. And I say that because when I was like 10 years old, I was bringing homemade apple pies, peach cobblers to birthday parties. Yeah, because that is what every 5th grade boy wants, you know, is a homemade pie. How to win them over. Yeah. Yeah. In hindsight, definitely was not the way to find out if Todd liked me. But it was the way to find out Todd had a severe nut allergy. So I don't know. He's fine. I looked him up on LinkedIn before the show. Doing okay. Yeah, I got invited to a lot of parties as a kid, which was really awesome for my ego. I loved it. But when I think back, I think the moms and dads were just encouraging their kids to invite me because I was basically catering for free. That's what I was doing. Saving moms and dads a lot of money. Yeah, I'm not a mom myself, but I am an aunt. And I do love my nieces and nephews to bits. I just adore them so much. And I was having lunch today with my niece and nephew. And I asked them, I was like, hey guys, what's your favorite dessert? What's your favorite dessert? And my niece, who's 2, said it was, you know, me. She said it was me, which was very sweet. My nephew said gumdrops, which my dog's agreeing with, apparently, in the background there. Yeah. And gumdrops is a fine answer, you know, but it is the way to get ridden out of my will, Cohen, is all I'm saying. You know, your sister was on the right track there. You know? And then he laughed and he was like, no, Auntie Kelly, my favorite dessert is the Sahara Desert.
Oh.
Like, Cohen, jeez. And then he very cutely told me I could use that in the show tonight. So there you go.
Aww.
Yeah. Didn't work as well as I wanted, so I'm going to give him notes after. He's 5. He could take it. What else about me? I'm in a relationship. I've got a great boyfriend. I'm super, super happy about that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to not be on dating apps at the moment. They're stressful, but I am obsessed with really quirky dating apps. One of which is Sea Captain Dating. Yeah, SEA, Sea Captain Dating. Apparently, there are hundreds of sea captains online as we speak, looking for love. Yeah. Yeah, which I find a little disconcerting, because should they not be manning the ship? There's shipping delays happening. Is it because someone is looking for booty? I don't know. I don't know. But the tagline for Sea Captain Dating, they get you with "Find your first mate." That is their tagline, which is fine. It's fine. I personally would have gone with "We're filled with semen." Yeah. It's better. It's better, right? I don't know, man. They tout benefits to Sea Captain Dating being on it, as you are able to look at profiles and pictures, which I wouldn't say is a benefit. I think that's just how an app works. You know, the benefit to your app should not be that it is functional. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think a benefit to sea captain dating should be, I don't know, something like a good chowder recipe. That would be great. Better, right?
Yeah.
Everything's better with a good chowder recipe. It definitely is. But yes, on that note for food, we're going to get back into the show. Happy to warm the crowd up a little bit, get us all started. And thank you again so much tonight for donating to World Central Kitchen. We will put the link to World Central Kitchen in the chat. If you feel like donating a little bit more, please do. Don't feel like you have to. We really appreciate your being here tonight. And we're going to start off the show by zooming over to California. We're all over the map here tonight, all over the map. And going to start off the night with a comic that I've gotten to meet in person. It's been great over the past year and a bit to meet these comedians I've gotten to know via Zoom. Our first comic has appeared at the Comedy Store and Flappers. She's an author and she's a very cute dog. Very cute. As cute as mine, I don't know, but definitely very cute. But please welcome everyone, the pessimistic Pollyanna. Give it up for Gini Sikes.
Well, thank you, Kelly. And there's no way your dog is cuter than mine. So, wow, is this Zoom audience attractive? I'm asking. I mean, I can't see through black boxes. It's okay. I got my imagination and my mind's eye. You're all hot and hung like a horse.
Oh.
including the women. Right, that's so not going to talk about Russia. I'll talk about me. I just had a birthday.
Woo!
Yeah, thanks. I typically have one a year. And and my neighbor said, "Oh, happy birthday," and many more. And I was like, not too many. When it comes to life, I want quality, not quantity. No quality, I'm out. Yeah, because I enjoy not shitting myself. So I'm fine with 10 more years, or depending upon how this set goes, I'll take 5 more minutes. So yeah, it is crazy times right now. And I just want to pause to reflect on last month's shit show, that war on humanity, Valentine's Day. Yeah, we got some singles here.
Yay!
Okay, anybody else get these patronizing texts from your married friends? You are not alone. Well, that's terrifying. Or, I'm here for you. Not tonight because I have a romantic dinner, but well, you know what? Screw them. Tonight after the show, I have a date.
Right. Woo! Woo!
All right.
Thank you. It has been a really long time, so I'm not sure I want to sleep with him. I'm on the fence. So I only shaved one leg. And one nipple. Over the pandemic, I got laid. Off. So, yeah, I got laid off from a suicide hotline.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
I hired from a volunteer gig in the middle of a global mental health crisis. I just wanted to help people, so I asked my boss, what did I do wrong? He goes, all right, well, when callers tell you the reasons why, you keep going, ooh, I see your point. I don't see. So then he played back one of my recorded calls. Yes, I do understand. You're desperate to end things, but you don't know how. Think about this. What floor are you on? Think higher.
Oh, God.
My boss looks at me and he goes, "You do know you don't work on commission." I just enjoy helping people reach their goals. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, does she have any good news? So, well, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I appear at clubs, parties, and in my ex's nightmares. Honey, I'm back. I also turn up at murder scenes. Not a killer yet. I'm a crime reporter, a true crime reporter. I have a master's in journalism from Columbia. And I tell you that so you know how far I've fallen. From the Ivy League to Zoom. My parents hated that joke, but they're dead, so who cares? So people always ask me, what does stand-up comedy have in common with crime? Crime doesn't pay either. So if you're wondering what triggered my obsession with murder, my mother murdered. My joy. She raised us in Wisconsin by choice. Anybody else here? Anybody here from Wisconsin? Well, lucky you. It's a really weird state. Okay, they passed a law that made it legal to shoot cats, kitty cats. You need a law? Pop a cat. All right, I'm not saying that correctly. What I mean is I just don't understand how big this cat problem is, that they need a law. Apparently, according to the local news, it's a catastrophe. Hunters are arming themselves with assault rifles to stalk kittens. You know what's going to happen. There's some child, mittens, mittens, mittens. Memory all alone in the moonlight. Okay, it's from the musical Cats. It's Jennifer Hudson's death scene. Guys gotta go to more musical theater. So I actually think they're eating the cats because Wisconsin is known for its big meat eaters. You'll know a few of them. Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, Liberace. All right, Liberace didn't eat people. He just kind of nibbled. He didn't swallow. Well, maybe he did. And I want you to think growing up there was just about cannibalism. We were also racist. I grew up being mistaken for Asian in the whitest town in America. True, according to the Census Bureau. Everybody was German or Polish, and I'm both. But because I didn't have blue eyes and I had dark hair, and if anybody thinks this is natural, God bless you. So people would talk to my mom and be like, "Oh my God, where did you get her? Is she a rescue?"
Oh.
So I passed for Asian. I also passed for Mexican, Inuit, whoever they hated that week. Oh, it's the Iraq War. I gotcha. Persian Gulf Ginny. Okay, I want to be serious for one moment. I am not, please don't think I'm comparing myself to victims of true discrimination. I'm not even the only comic this has happened to. John Mulaney has this bit about being mistaken as a kid for Chinese, which is interesting because I was once mistaken for John Mulaney. Apparently all comics look alike. Quick quick story. One time our school took us to the nursing home to cheer up the old folks. And this old guy came up to me and he leans over and he says, during the war, little girl, I shot one Oriental with my right hand and bayoneted the other with my left. And I was like, oh my God, like I care, he's ambidextrous. Then he starts going, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Because I was standing on his oxygen tube with my left foot and turned off his machine with the right. No hands, Grandpa. All right, I don't mind looking Asian, but I felt I needed to prove I wasn't. So I took a test and I showed everybody. D in math. All right, if you like this set, I'm Jenny Sikes. Please follow me. If you didn't like it, good night. I'm John Mulaney.
Give it up for Ginny, everybody. Oh man, John Mulaney is kind of like a touchy subject here in Toronto because for the past, I think 2 years, every show he's booked here, he has canceled at the last minute. Supposedly he is coming back in September, but I will see it once the show is over. I'll believe it once the show is over. It's crazy. It is super weird. But thank you so much, Jenny. And I am an ambidextrous gal myself. I've not harmed anybody, but I can draw with one hand and cut with the other. It's fun. Yay. Exciting. Man, I admired the true crime stuff. The fact that you write that and delve into that world. I've got this quirky job as a transcriber. I work here from home. I do post-production stuff, and I don't really like getting the true crime stuff because it kind of freaks me out a bit. I tend to work on home renovation shows. That's the main thing I work on. A show called Love It or List It is one of the shows I have. And I always find that people on like home renovation shows need therapy way more than they need in the kitchen. It's crazy. It's like, dude, I don't think it's the basement. I don't think your wife likes you. You know, put that out there. Anyhow, someone I do love and am so glad she is here with us tonight. We are going all the way over now to Vietnam. We're moving over to a brand new country for our next comic. By day, she works in advertising. By night, she's a comedian and she's a delight. Please give it up for Ankita Ghosh. Yay!
Hey! Hi, everyone. So stoked to be here. You know, much like most ambitious Indian fathers, my dad wanted me to become a bureaucrat and serve the government. And I was like, oh, you want me to make a career out of tricking people and telling them lies? I'm not going to do that for a living. So I chose to work in advertising instead. Making way more money. You know, I noticed that everyone tried to be better versions during the pandemic. Maybe not Putin so much, but everyone else did. But no one really did, you know, except for the virus itself, like really proper, nicely evolved versions. COVID started off pandemic, much like I did my 20s, you know. It all started at the wet market. Yes, that's where my first kiss happened with a random boy, okay? And from then on, I kept giving totally irresponsible fucks and kept devouring all kinds of animals. And, you know, in your 20s, you can get so drunk that you can go home even with a bat, right? I know that sounds batshit crazy, but 20s is when you are the alpha variant of your own self, all right? The Delta variant is a lot like me in my early 30s. Raging hormones, but wiser. Wants to fuck the whole world, but targeted older, more vulnerable men. I'm not really proud to admit this, but the particularly unhygienic ones were easy prey. And there were waves across countries when my sex drive peaked, all right? Omicron is a lot like me now. You know, I will go for anyone, to be honest, but I'm calmer. I don't even want to go all the way anymore. Just making out and fucking off is fine. And yes, you won't die. That's a guarantee, unless you're an anti-vaxxer. That's when you do. So I recently quit smoking, and I realized that I have nothing to distract me, you know. My date was late, and earlier I could smoke a cigarette while trying not to imagine his dead body mangled in a car accident. Now, all I'm left with is imagination. So I think about which side of his face is badly burned, how his teeth is coming out of his jawline and hanging around the throat. I won't disturb you with the gory details. My doctor just told me it's too late for abortion. You have to keep the child. Earlier, I could come out, smoke a cigarette while frantically looking up on illegal abortion clinics or childless couples looking to adopt discreetly. Now, all I have is an unwanted child who is also healthy because I've quit smoking. Fuck's sake. So see, now I'm looking forward to quitting smoking and keep going back to quitting. Yeah, it's an endless loop, to be honest. Well, Gini was talking about Valentine's Day. Yeah, it was Valentine's Day last month and I'm single. So I was toying with, not sex toys. I know what you're thinking, you dirty minds. I was toying with a new business idea, okay? I'm gonna create a new app, a G-spot tracking app, which will work. We need it, ladies, yeah. It will work like Google Map, okay? Once someone locates it, they can drop a pin so that it's easier for others to find it, right? And there will be, you know, multiple routes to get there. Let's say you're in a hurry and only have time for a quickie. We will show you the shortest possible route to get there. Let's say you have a bit of time and you can have your dinner before you get there. There will be longer convoluted routes too. I think this is a dope idea. It's gonna fly, right, ladies? Give me a cheer if you love this. I was recently telling a friend that, have you noticed that how everything comes with a user manual and no one reads it until shit hits the ceiling? He freaked the fuck out. He's like, the toilet's not working. Now we have to look for a user manual. Do toilets come with one? I was like, dude, calm the fuck down. That's exactly what I was saying. We buy things that come with user manuals, but we don't need it. But then things that really need don't come with one, right? Like babies. How to make babies live for 100 days. Small win. Small wins, but such a useful book, right? Sometimes same user manuals could work for two things, like cactus and husband. Safe to assume both are pricks, right? Or rescue dogs and men on Tinder. Sometimes I forget if I'm bringing home a rescue dog or a Tinder date because it's just...
If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
Oh, what? What's that? What?
You're okay.
I'm okay. Somebody just asked me to dial 911. It's not me. Okay, let me get back to my set. I just spoke about rescue dogs and men on Tinder, and then somebody, you know, got triggered and asked me to dial 911. But okay. All right. So sometimes, as I was saying, sometimes I forget if I'm bringing home a rescue dog or a Tinder date because the same thing happens every single time. I bring them home, give them cute names. The last one was called Bagel because he was too sweet and was doing all the housework, making me fat. I make sure they have all the necessary tests and jabs, feed them well, they build muscles and become famous on Insta. And just when I begin to think we are soulmates, they start intermittent ghosting me. Mm. And this is when they start calling me names like clingy and needy, and I have to rename them as assholes and look for something new to rescue. Now, I'm on dating apps, and I use Tinder bios as my relationship user manuals. I'm gonna tell you what they say and what they really mean on Tinder. They say open-minded. What they actually mean is open butt. That's one held by explanatory mind who wants butt sex. Expect dick pics from him before you ask, because this dick loves to strut his stuff. Discuss threesomes and strap-ons, but never mention condoms because open-minded men feel claustrophobic in latex. Okay?
Yeah.
The second type of Tinder bio is, I'm looking for something casual only, which translates to, he wants to fuck the whole world. This guy won't hold your hand in public, okay? Don't expect a dinner date or anything fancy. He might turn up at your place with 6 cans of Ba, which is the cheapest beer available in Vietnam, of which he will drink 4. He will also tell you how he never goes down on girls until they become his girlfriends, which means he will never go down on you either. The third kind of Tinder profile is looking for a serious relationship. No FWB, no ONS, no escorts, no massage. Extremely reassuring. I matched one of these recently. I'm going to tell you how the text conversation went, okay? He asked me, what are you doing tonight? Which roughly translates as, I have an erection. I said, I'm going out with friends, which translates as, I might come, but not immediately. Said, male friends or females, which translates as red flag. I said both. He said, don't let the male friends come close to you, which translates as, I have a small penis. I said, why? Which translates as, if I stand naked, dude, no one's gonna check your dick. Come on. He said, I will be jealous, which translates as, my penis is slightly under the national average. I said, we haven't even met, which translates as, probably it's better to keep it that way. He said, but we will soon. I want to be serious with you, which translates as, I don't want my genetic line to end. Now, this is when my Indian mom spirit kicked in, and I asked him, what's your job? Because I'm Indian, okay? Dicks don't matter. What job is way more important, right? So he texted back, I am an independent software developer, which probably means I just came on my hand. Currently, my job involves installing CCTV footage. I don't know what that translates to, except that he's unemployed, and a device that detects coronavirus patients in public. I'll read it again. He texted, I'm an independent software developer. Currently, my job involves installing CCTV footages and a device that detects coronavirus patients in public.
I'm just gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah, this is when the hardware and software of my brain got totally tangled, and I started looking for a user manual for unemployed, delusional, science fiction writing love seekers. And that's my set for you tonight. Thank you so much.
Woo! Give it up, everyone, for Ankita. And if anyone here knows somebody who works for Google, get that G-spot thing going, because that would be helpful. We'll give a discount to anyone who's here at the Zoom who wants to get it. Oh, such good stuff. And congrats on the 1 year of not smoking. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome, friend. Yeah.
I'm back at
You're
it.
back.
Get it from my set. I just quit smoking for a month and then I'm back at it. I'm such a loser.
The fact that you quit for a bit, that's a good thing. I am 1 year booze free. That's what I did about a year ago. Yeah, thank you. Actually, 13 months. What I am drinking is non-alcoholic something. I don't know what it is. It's basically apple juice is what I'm drinking now. But yeah, I gave up drinking 13 months ago. And I'm an Eastern European gal. So the fact that I'm not drinking and I'm Latvian, this was risky business. This was a ballsy move. I told my father and he was like, why you no drink? I make you drink, you tell me why you no drink. It's like, no, it's not how it works, Dad. But of course, being Latvian, I worry very much about what's going on in Eastern Europe and with our friends in the Ukraine. And thank you again, everyone, for being here tonight, to donating to World Central Kitchen. All the proceeds from your Eventbrite donations are going to them. And we will continue to put the World Central Kitchen link in the chat. Share it with your friends. Look at what they're doing. They do really great stuff all over this world and helping out people with food, because sometimes you just need a meal that makes you feel like home, and it takes a bit of that stress off, and you can go about your day as best you can. So we thank you all for being here tonight, and we're going to move back to California for our next comic. She has played all the big clubs in LA, but she is a big fan of Club Zoom, and I'm so glad she's here tonight. Please give it up for Susan Wolfe.
Yeah.
I'm so jazzed to be. I love Zoom because I can't afford plastic surgery in LA, so this is the closest thing I can get to it. Yeah. I'm trying to be woke. Also, a little bit about myself. I'm a Pisces, but I also identify. I'm in a 14-year relationship. I identify as she, her, and single. So, yeah, don't want to let go of that dream. I got to say, my parents, they gave me many amazing traits. They passed down a lot of stuff to this kid here, man, I'll tell you. And like my mom, she gave me the love for jazz music, and like a sense of wonderment and the freedom to dream. Oh, I miss that woman. I miss that woman. Oh, and my dad, a man of very few words. He's gone now. So even fewer. But I got to tell you, he has taught me, what he passed down to me, I have to say, the most important thing in my entire life. How to take a good shit. When I was a kid, I remember him grabbing the newspaper, right? And what seemed hours later, finally he emerged from the bathroom. And he was a man of very little expression. But when he came out of that bathroom, he looked pretty damn happy. And I got to tell you, we kids, we love to see our dad happy. So that really stuck with me. I don't have a newspaper, but I do have my cell phone. And I go in and I got to tell you, I just chill, I relax. It's very meditative. And I just wait. There's no pushing. There's no straining. There's no wincing. And there are no hemorrhoids. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm going to be 60 years old this month. Woo! Yeah, my asshole begs to differ. And I'll tell you right now, man, I miss my dad. That was that changed my world, but I do miss my father. But I was a wellness coach. I still am a wellness coach. I don't practice. And one of the common bonds between all my clients is they wanted to know what can I do to feel and stay healthy? Bar none, hands down, farm to table. Asshole to toilet. It's a cycle, my friends. It's a cycle. Yeah. So, my dad just passed away a couple of months ago. And I flew back to Boston for the funeral. And I hadn't seen him in about 3 years. So there he was in the casket. And I noticed he had scruff. My dad was always clean shaven. Well, except for his ears. Except, like, like he reminded us of like a male version of Princess Leia. And me and my brothers, we were like, Dad, we were always after him. We're like, Dad, it's gross. Can you get rid of the shrubbery? Get rid of. And his response to us every single time, what? So there he was. He was in the casket, and it was amazing. It was crazy. And I went over. I got to touch him and kiss him and say goodbye. And I had the beautiful opportunity to do his eulogy. He actually made that possible. And so I do his eulogy. I killed. I killed. We had a rabbi open the show. Do the service. I headlined. I gotta tell you, there's one thing that I will never hear from my parents. I did both their eulogies. I'll never hear them say, "Oi, my daughter, the headliner." I'm missing. Do I still have time?
Yes, you do. Yeah,
oh, cool.
You got 3 minutes.
Oh, gee, like a lifetime together we can spend here. Oh man. So has anybody seen the latest Brad Pitt commercial, right? When he drives up on his beautiful, like kind of mid-50s kind of motorcycle, and he goes to a coffee shop to pick up his Nespresso pods, right? And he is, I mean, he's drop dead gorgeous, right? This guy, and he goes in and he thanks the girl or whoever for the pods, and he drives off and he goes back to his bungalow somewhere in the Hollywood Hills, and he takes us up, and throughout the entire commercial is this very, very sensual, sexy music that's playing. Well, I hear the commercial I'm not even watching, but I hear the music, and like a zombie, I'm like, oh, like, because I could just identify it with Brad Pitt. Like, he is just so gorgeous, And for that, I'd go back in the closet. And we'd be in the closet, and me and Brown, we'd be in the closet, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Brad?" He's like, "Gay." This tomboy. Speaking of good-looking people, Halle Berry, I think recently got married, and I remember a couple of years ago, the press deemed her as like, a little unhinged in the relationship department. And there was a lot of like physical stuff going on, real negative stuff, with her and these guys that she would date. And, but apparently it doesn't matter, because there was always a line of men just waiting for their turn. I've got one question for these guys. Can I get in line over here? Is this spot taken? Listen, I don't know if I have any more time left, but thank you so much for being here, and what a great, amazing cause. Sadly, we're doing this, but yes, I'm so happy to be here. And thank you all for coming out and supporting Ukraine and comedy. So, and thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Give it up, everyone, for Susan Wolfe. Just great stuff. And I'm very sorry for your loss, for your dad. But I think he'd be proud of your set for sure. For sure.
Thank you for saying that, because he would, there's no doubt he would be like, yes. My mother, however, is pissed probably because I didn't joke about her a little bit more, but yeah. And my sister-in-law is somewhere in the audience, and
awesome.
She knows that my dad would completely be stoked.
That's so great.
Well, thank you again.
Very welcome. My dad is just a great guy, and doesn't come to my shows very often, which is fine. It's fine, he doesn't. But the first time my dad saw me do stand-up, I saw him after the show. I was at this little hostel in Montreal, and he was smiling. I was like, oh, Dad. He's like, I'm so proud of you. I was like, what was your favorite joke? And he was like, I didn't hear any of it. I didn't bring my hearing aids. but he looked so proud. So he hasn't heard my set either. So there we go. Friends, we are doing such good work for World Central Kitchen tonight. Our showrunner tonight, Tom Meyer. Give it up for Tom, doing the spotlight.
Tom.
He's got a little something that he wants to share with us too. Another way you can help our friends overseas. Take it away, Tom.
Thank you. Well, first of all, give it up for all the comics again.
Yay.
Give it up for your hosts, Lindsey and Kelly. Give it up for yourselves for coming here and for giving money to World Central Kitchen. I also was inspired to help out, and so I started. I own a coffee company and I sell coffee, and so I started a fundraiser for Ukraine called Joe for Ukraine.
Amazing!
That's right. So the money goes towards towards United Help Ukraine, which provides humanitarian assistance, provides first aid kits and medical devices to the folks in Ukraine. So if you go to, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. There it is.
Yay!
bit.ly/Joe for Ukraine. You can get yourself a hopefully limited edition bag of my coffee, and so you donate $15 to United Help Ukraine, and I will send you a little coupon code which you can purchase that coffee from, and then $5 goes to me to cover my expenses because I'm a very poor person. So thank you all so much, and thank you, Lindsey and Kelly, for having me on.
Thanks so much for that, Tom.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Friends, we need caffeine. There's a lot happening in the world. We got to pay attention. So get your coffee. That is awesome. That is super cool. So do support what Tom is doing and drink more coffee. I love coffee. I mean, I'm Latvian, so my blood type is pretty much vodka. But I think there's a little sub part that's just Java. So
I don't think we're allowed to drink vodka anymore, right?
Well, there are other places you can. There are other companies to support. Here where I live in Toronto, Ontario, they've taken certain Russian products off the shelves, but there are other vodkas you can drink if you choose to. I don't anymore, much to the dismay of my dad, but that's okay. That is okay. But a good point to bring up, Tom. Indeed. All right, friends. We are going to now turn it over to my co-host for tonight. When I reached out to her and I was like, can you help me do a thing? I feel like we need to do a thing. She was the first person I thought of. Another friend I got to make over Zoom, and then we got to meet in person last summer. And she is just the coolest cat, performs all over LA and the US of A. She's currently right now in Boston doing some things, but you can catch her online with like Loons and Tunes. And what else has she got going on here? Giggles for Georgia is another one. Does a lot of stuff virtually, a lot of stuff in person. Someone to check out and get to know and support. Give it up for Lindsey Loon. Yay!
Yeah. Woo!
Hey guys, I'm Lindsey Loon. So I'm from Massachusetts. Yay!
Yay.
Yay.
Fuck Massachusetts. We are wicked rude. We're so rude, we call ourselves massholes. I don't even get the cute accent because I'm not from Southie. I'm from more like Northwesty. There used to be one nice person in Massachusetts, Susan Wolfe. But we kicked her out and sent her to California. So my background is Jewish and half hillbilly. I'm a Jew-billy. My father's family's from the mountains of North Carolina, and my mother's is from 5,782 years of Jewish suffering. Being a Jew-billy, shalom, y'all. I can hunt squirrels and bargains, too. I take my matzo balls bacon wrapped. I'll overwhelm you with Southern hospitality and Jewish guilt. Yes, I have yelled, "Hey, y'all, watch this!" But I also have very good medical insurance. And I can forgive, but I cannot. I know I am sorry. I can't forgive. I can't forgive, but I sure can forget with some moonshine or Manischewitz. I'm sugar bug. Yeah. I think Jewish and hillbilly culture actually have like overlapping souls. Like you can hear it in the music, you know? It's a pity party. Like it's happy. It's happy when it's sad. It's sad when it's happy. I mean, Jewish klezmers all have a tequila, have 10 tequila with a moonshine chaser. Oh my God. And that's the party song.
That's good.
Hillbilly blues is just depression with sex appeal. I lost my job, can't pay my rent. Oy vey. Same difference, y'all. So I'm a wandering Jew-billy. I've lived all over Japan, Australia, the wilds of Texas. My dad said, "Damn it, Lindsey, pick a place. It looks like you're running from the law." When I lived in Japan, I loved the Japanese baths. Does anybody go to Koreatown or any of the Asian baths?
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, we got clean people. This is great. So there's a little bit of a learning curve. You go in and everybody gets naked because you all end up in the same bath together and you have to wash off first. So, you know, but everybody's naked. You get used to it. Except in Japan, sometimes I was the only foreigner. So I'd get a few looks. And this one day, this little old lady is staring at me and her eyes are going up and down like paint rollers, you know? And she comes over. "Hontoni shiroi ne." You really are white. All over. Felt seen. On a different note, you know, given the world right now, I've been thinking about the Ukraine a lot, of course, and it actually brought up some great memories of a Ukrainian ex-boyfriend I had. He was so smart. He was an MD, PhD. So technically, he was a doctor. He was Dr. Lemeshko. You know, you guys see the fabulous Slavic shrug, Lemeshko, right? And I'd have these little fantasies, and I'd think, you know, if we got married and I took his name, I'd be Lindsey Lemeshko. And that sounds like you're making out with the air, Lindsey Lemeshko, you know. Just But I loved his family. He wanted to stop his sister's compulsive shopping, so he had advice for her. He says, Natalia, you know, they hold these things at Target for you. It's like your own free storage unit. Your clothes and jewelry and homewares, all your little babies, Target babysits. And he had insight for me too. You know, I was directing my first short film with a cast of all these little kids who were pampered, very, very rich kids. I mean, it was sippy cups and stock portfolios. I was trying to teach them inside voices. They were trying to teach me insider trading. I couldn't tell them to do anything. It was a nightmare. Everybody had to get their way. Oh my God. The whining, the crying, the temper tantrums. And that was just the crew. But the kids were hungry and had to go potty and wanted to be stars, right? And Dr. Lemeshko was on set. So he turns to me and he sees how absolutely stressed out I am. And he goes, you want I should spank them? And it was like, yes, I do want you should spank them, but I don't want to be wrapped up in lawsuits with American oligarchs. But Dr. Lemeshko was healing. He intuited my dreams. You know? I felt seen. So now I have an American boyfriend. It's been an on-off relationship for 7 years. 7 years. I must have broke a mirror. I would feel kind of bad talking about him, but we discussed it. And he wants you to know he's a good enough guy. He's okay if I talk about him in shows. He's not a good enough guy to be here. His name is Mike, and as a comic, I deal with another Mike. But at least this Mike listens to me. And stays hard. That joke is just for me. That's not our problem. The real problem is we're just so different, you know, like I'm talkative and social and he doesn't say much. He's quiet, you know, he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's really mean. He's my emotional non-support animal. So Mike and I have a a relationship. And my Southern granny gave me some advice. She said, Lindsey, find yourself a man you don't want to kill every day. You're still gonna want to kill him most days, honey, but every day is bad. Aim low, grandma, you know? I can adjust my expectations. For instance, like if we make this work, our wedding, you know, I'm a night owl and I told Mike I'd marry him anywhere we could do a romantic European style late night dinner. So I let him pick, you know, he comes up with one location, 7-Eleven. We're getting married at 7-Eleven, y'all, you know, and the hillbilly in me loves it. Like, my engagement ring will be a Funyun. Like he loves it. He put a Funyun on it, you know? And if we break up again, I'll just eat it. It's a commitment and a snack. When we walk down the aisle, it'll be the actual aisle, the chips aisle. And in sickness and in health is so convenient because they have 2-year-old hot dogs and Tums. Our bouquet will be a Slurpee. Good luck catching that. Whoever gets splattered blue is the next to get married. At Circle K. Yeah. I've got to be realistic. Like, I don't know if we'll get married. I mean, we could break up as I'm walking down the aisle. Like, so on, off, on, off. What are we, the clapper? My friends call it a dead end relationship. And, you know, there's a lot of love. It's not a dead end relationship. It's a cul-de-sac relationship. Is it cozy? Kinda. Yeah. Did I get here by accident after a series of wrong turns and bad decisions? Probably. Yeah. Is it going nowhere? Absolutely. So take care, y'all. Make good choices.
All right.
And we have a great show.
Back to Lindsey.
A great end of show. We've got 2 more comics coming up, and they are fantastic. Our next dynamic performer is zooming in from Montreal. In addition to being a very funny comedian, she's a voice actor and the producer of a number of shows, including Pornomedy. It's Moniker Hamburg.
Woohoo! Yay, Monica! Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me. Oh, I so enjoyed Lindsey's set, but it did make me a little sad because I thought depression with sex appeal was my brand. All right, I'll work on it. I was one time when I was introduced on a show, and guys always have some weird way of introducing you when you're a woman. But this one guy was like, "Let's hear from Monica. She's a dominatrix." But I'm not. I make men miserable, but it's not a job. More of a hobby, just a thing I'm passionate about, right? So really, the pandemic's, the worst, obviously. I think we can all agree on that. I don't think that's a hot take. I really missed being able to travel. My boyfriend works as a children's entertainer. And, it's always nice to be somewhere where no one knows I'm sleeping with a clown. Your partner got a promotion? Mine made a new balloon animal. I don't know if you've ever tried listening to news reports about the world falling apart to squeaks of a latex Peppa Pig. So soothing. So soothing. Oh, it's the best. The best. When the pandemic started, I was like, wow, this feels like a zombie apocalypse. But then I was like, I wish this was a zombie apocalypse. I wish, because like in a zombie apocalypse, sure, you're running from zombies. You are gathering your weapons, but you're not expected to also file your taxes. Mm-hmm. No, I can't file my taxes. I used my pen to stab a zombie in the neck. Okay, but I did drive my car to get the weapon after that, so can I deduct a percentage of the car? Hold on. Hey, hold on a second. Wait, I am sure I have a gas receipt in this trunk of chainsaws. No, zombie, no, you won't eat my brain, because now I have to fill out a census. Okay, no, all right, we're good. I killed a zombie. So now I have an undead zombie in my backyard. Can I claim it as a dependent? I have a lot of questions. Okay. A lot of I used to use an app to track my depression, but lately I have been using Facebook memories. I think though my favorite thing about Facebook is how so many guys who have decided not to date me anymore can like every single thing I post. Pretty amazing, yeah. Facebook has like memorialization. I can never pronounce it, but the settings that memorialization settings. They have the settings like to what happens to your account after you die. Well, I mean, I guess my account will keep dating. It's been nailing it. Yeah, I'm really not great at dating. Luckily, my boyfriend's not watching this. But I'm really not great at dating. But I think like my primary problem with dating was always that like the Venn diagram of the guys that I'm interested in and the guys that are interested in me, that overlap. It's like a sliver, you know, it's just the tiniest, you know, like the only comparison is it's like guys who go to Asia to teach English and it's not so they could hook up with Asian women. Like it's just the overlap there. My friend sent a Facebook friend request to our old boss and he didn't accept it. And she was so hurt. I'm like, okay, but he's no longer our boss because he burnt down our workplace. I don't want to be cynical. I really don't, you know? But someone who sets fire to your source of income, that is not a friend. I mean, if you walk into a charred building, and you have to ask, does this mean I have the day off? You know? That person's not the best communicator. Yeah. Like that, I think that's the problem with social media. I think that is what we're doing. We are all seeking validation from passive aggressive arsonists. I think that's it. I think we need to step away from the internet. I think this is how we can tell. But I'm like, honestly, I'm just so addicted, obviously, to the internet. I'm just overwhelmingly addicted. I actually had to get an app to stop me from checking apps. A real thing I did. And the one I got was called Rescue Time. And it was great. It's great. It immediately rescued me from the weather app. Just blocked me. And in case you don't remember, I live in Canada. Okay? There is nothing that I need more than the weather app. I need to know, am I going to lose a limb to frostbite tonight? You know, I need to know, through how many layers do I have to scream, why do I live here? But I can't, you know, because it blocked me, and that's fine. That's fine, honestly, it's fine. Because the last time I checked the weather app, it said it was going to be windy with a 30% chance of me losing my shit. I already knew. It didn't even need the app. So we're fine. We're fine. But like, I think the app that's not been developed that I really need, you know, okay, so you guys know Shazam, you know, it plays a song, you know what the song is, you hold up the phone, tells you the name. I need Shazam, but for people. I need when someone walks up to me, I can be like, oh, hi, it's so nice to see you again. Dave? Yes. Dave, oh my God. Dave, so nice, honestly. So nice to see you. Dave, can I use your phone to check the weather? Because I'm jonesing. I need it. I need it bad. I've been reading a lot of dystopian fiction. My mother's emails. My mother is more skilled than Stephen King at writing these long paragraphs that fill you with anxiety. She, no, I have. Oh yes, it was like, what else did she say? Yes, I know. Okay, like everyone here is a Stephen King fan. I know that I am. Like Stephen King, he made you fear clowns and sewers and dogs. But my mom can terrify you with a tale of a terrible cheese sandwich. Oh, it was terrible. 3 years ago. Oh my God, I can still taste it. Or the rubber glove that I know the cleaning lady stole. That's stupid. Or just one question about the internet. If it's not true, how could it get on Google? So I think my mom has the greater gift, you know? I think she does. Also, I was really surprised when Stephen King put out Misery, because I thought my mom held that trademark. Am I out of time? I think I might be out of time. Am I? You guys?
You got about 30 seconds.
I have 30 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna do one last thing then. Okay, so there was a subway sign, and it was like, your child is unconscious and has drunk cleaning fluid. What do? And I was like, that child is clean and quiet. So I don't really know what problem I have to solve. It seems like it's all been solved. Thank you so very much. You guys have been a lot of fun.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was so much fun. God, I loved the tracking depression through Facebook memories. That's going to haunt me. So we have one more amazing comic for you folks from Chicago originally. She is now LA based and has played all over the country. You may have seen her featuring for Jackie Cashian at the Laughing Tap in Milwaukee, or in Tacoma, Washington, featuring for Maria Bamford at the Tacoma Comedy Club. She's hilarious and a shining star of a human. She's one of my favorite comics, an inspiring human being. Please give a warm welcome for our final comic of the night, our headliner, Wynter Spears.
My computer just told me to unmute myself so you could hear me. So yeah, I have achieved it, guys. I've done it. Okay, people. Let's guys. Shout out to Kelly and Lindsey for getting us all here tonight. That's awesome. Thank you so much for putting all of this together and asking me to be a part of it. Kelly, you told me more about sea captains than I've ever wanted to know. Thank you for that. Guys, let's give it up for John Mulaney, straight out of rehab, coming to do our show tonight. We appreciate it. Okay, Ankita, you were talking about people being a better version of themselves coming out of quarantine and COVID. I'm now the person who eats pie from the middle with a fork and I don't cut it. So is that a better version of me? I don't know. Is that a better version of me? I don't know, guys. I don't know how to be with people anymore. I had to go be like, I worked indoors for 2 years. I had to go back to work with people this week. I don't know how to act. I don't know what to do. Are we bowing? Are we shaking hands? Are we hugging? I don't know. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm working through it. KCP. I feel like it was you who had like the 911 thing. And I just want to make sure that you're okay. Just let us know so we can call someone. I'm very concerned. Guys, give it up for Susan, her dad, and their clean colons. Susan, I want you to know that I also killed at my father's funeral. Just letting you know. My mom let me tell a joke. I was really excited about it. I also got to make my brother go first, so I was the headliner. It was great. It was good times, guys. It was good times. The only thing about my dad's funeral was my dad was a guy who he was very handy at lots of things. And there's this great story that my mother used to tell about my dad, that once he hit his thumb with a hammer and he split his thumb open so you could see like the white meat, right? So he tells my mother to go get him a needle, a thread, and some alcohol, and proceeded to sew his own thumb back together, guys.
Damn.
So was my dad a secret doctor? Was he a serial killer? We will never know. He has left. But I think about that moment a lot, guys. I also think about my mom. My mom and dad first got married. My mom is like the nicest, sweetest person you'd ever want to meet, but also don't try her. Once my dad, when they had first gotten married, my mom is like, made my dad breakfast, and he's like, oh, hon, you know that's not how I like my eggs. My mother proceeded to pour said eggs in his lap. Guys, she's not crazy, but she let him know, you can't try me. I love that story. I think about it often. Guys, Lindsey was talking about the Korean baths, and she's like, oh, everybody's naked, you get used to it. As someone who spent a summer in the Netherlands with people walking around naked at a water park, I never got used to it. It was weird. It was a lot of penises. I didn't know where to look. It was a lot. It was a lot, guys. It was a lot. I never got used to it. Kudos to Monica for dating a clown. All I can think is Pennywise. Every time I think of clown, nope, it wouldn't be me, guys. That's always the first. Whenever someone says clown, I'm like, Pennywise. No, that's always the first clown to come to mind for me. I don't know about other people. Guys, Monica was also talking about people introducing you poorly. A man once introduced me and said that we used to date. I literally met that man that night. What I wished I would have said was, my standards are not that low. That's not what I said. But, when you have a few months to think about what your response would have been, that would have been a great joke had I said that. I don't always think of something clever to say, but sometimes I do. Guys, I don't know when you knew that this was going to be a thing. Guys, I knew, guys, and by the way, just so you know, it is raging in Hong Kong right now. This pandemic is not over. I'm just letting everyone know I'm still terrified wearing a mask every day. Guys, so I don't know when you knew that this was going to be a thing, but I knew when we were about 4 days pre-lockdown in Los Angeles. I was on my Sikes store looking for toilet paper, and I get out of my car, and there was a man in the parking lot playing an accordion. And I said to myself, oh, this is violins on the deck of the Titanic. This not gonna go well. He was not wrong. He was not. Guys, I don't know how you have been spending your pandemic. I spent my pandemic watching a lot of CNN, keeping up on all the COVID symptoms. This was before the war started, guys. I know that we're in the war portion of the pandemic now, but this is pre-war. I was watching a lot of CNN, watching all the segments, reading all the articles about COVID. You could call me a COVID expert. And once I spent about 5 or 6 hours of my day doing that, I would spend the rest of the time watching mindless shows to forget about all the horrible things that I had read. And I have to tell you that I hate reality dating television with the same passion that I reserve for men telling me how to park my car unbidden. But I tell you what, if Lauren and Cameron don't stay together, You're not going to have to worry about World War III because I'm personally burning Los Angeles to the ground. Lauren and Cameron don't stay together. What have we been doing this for? Guys, I read a lot of my junk emails during the pandemic because I had time, and I got an email one day from the Meyer plantation inviting me to their resort. First of all, kudos to you for inviting people to your resort during a pandemic. Also, I don't want to go to your plantation. That does not sound like self-care to me. Nothing says luxury like window AC and slave quarters. Am I right? The Waimea plantation could maybe benefit from a name change. Guys, during the pandemic, we lost, speaking of plantations, we lost the soup plantation here in Southern California. It was a restaurant. I don't want to say that they went out of business because of the joke I used to tell about them, but I like to think so. They might have benefited from a name change. Guys, there is a place in Tennessee called Darky Springs. They might also benefit from a name change. For my Canadian people, Kelly and Monica, I'm sure you know about the clothing company Moose Knuckle. For people who don't know what a moose knuckle is, look that up. You'll laugh on the way home. Oh, that's right, you're already at home. Yeah, they might benefit from a name change. Guys, people keep saying, no one could have predicted this. Who could have predicted this? No one could have predicted this. You know who could have predicted this? Probably mine and Monica's mother. My mother has had hand sanitizer and wipes in the bottom of her purse for the entirety of my life. She collects face masks from her doctor, like some people collect condiments from fast food restaurants. Her time is now. And I don't know if you guys remember, but at the very beginning of the pandemic, there was a guy who got in trouble for like buying mass quantities of hand sanitizer and storing it in a locker so that he could like sell it as a markup. I'm not saying that he and my mother were in cahoots, but I have questions, you know? Remember when Panic Room was a movie and not the place we lived every single day? Remember that? Good times. It was good times. Michael, thank you for laughing. Could you come to my house and laugh every day like that so I can have people to live? Guys, I have been trying to work on some things about myself during the pandemic. There's a problem that I've had for a while. It's really hard for me to talk about. I'm a purse hoarder. And that doesn't mean that I hoard purses. That means I hoard my house in my purse. So when I put everything that I can put into my purse, in my purse, CVS receipts from 10 weeks ago, 75 pens, 2 of which write, shoes, t-shirts, lipsticks, hair ties, so many half-drunk bottles of water, notebooks. When I put everything that I can put into my purse, in my purse, when my purse is so heavy, then when I put it in the passenger seat, in my car next to me, the light comes on, it needs a seatbelt. When I've put everything that I can put into my purse, in my purse, I have a decision to make. Do I clean out my purse? Or is it just easier to buy a new purse? I've been buying a new purse for a while. It's a problem. I'm working on it, guys. For those of you who don't know me and have never seen me before, my name is in fact Wynter Spears. I spell Wynter with a Y, not because I'm pretentious, but because my mother is. No surprise to Monica, I'm sure. I feel like our mothers were separated at birth, Monica. My last name is Spears, like Britney. The Britney is silent. But she's silent no more. No more conservatorship, guys. She just got a book deal for $15 million. I can't wait to read it. Full disclosure, I am an actor. At least I have a degree and a bill from Sally Mae that say I am. If you recognize me, it might be because I had a national commercial running not too long ago. Thank you. I need one more to pay off my college loan. And Lindsey was talking about people being divas on the set and all that. For anyone who has never worked in the entertainment industry, once you have, you realize why people go crazy on television all the time. Because once you have had someone blow drying your collar while simultaneously calling someone to bring you a straw for your Coke, you're like, oh, this should be my life every day. Just letting you know. People hand-holding you to walk like 7 feet, you're like, oh, this is the life, man. I can do this. And then you get an insane amount of money for someone basically walking you places. And you're like, oh, yeah, I can do this forever. So for those of you who don't know, yeah, if you can get into show business and be paid well for it, it's the carrot and the stick, guys. It's always beating us. That's why we want to be in the show business. So my commercial, the very first commercial I ever did espoused the virtues of one of the first commercials I ever did, espoused the virtues of weight loss. I was very excited when I was on vacation and this woman recognized me from my commercial. I was less excited that I was at an all-you-can-eat restaurant when it happened. It's funny because it's true. So as I am sidling up to the dessert bar, this woman walks up to me and she says, do you have a commercial running on TV right now? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. And I proceeded to introduce her to my entire family. Her name was Ernestine Jackson. And I remember because she was my first fan. And as she was walking back to her table, my mother came up to me and she said, oh, there was another woman who recognized you, but she didn't want to bother you. And I was like, yeah, because people are running me down for my State Farm spot. Guys, I was very, very excited when I got an agent and a manager. What I was not as excited about was when I realized that when you have an agent and a manager and you have a bad audition, you have to call both those people and tell them about it. That's like saying, thank you for believing in me. You were wrong. Guys, I feel like I've been single long enough that I'm very clear, especially as I've had time to reflect in this unprecedented time. I feel like I'm very clear on where I would succeed and where I would falter as a fiance and a wife. And notice I said fiance and wife and not girlfriend, because at this point in my career, it's MVP title all the way. So I'm not one of those people who would need like a super expensive engagement ring. Tradition states that an engagement ring should be like 3 months' salary. I wouldn't necessarily require that. I'm more looking for 14 t-shirts that I can put into a rotation that say I'm engaged. And I feel like at this point in my life, the only the next wedding that I participate will be my own, because I don't ever want to be anybody's maid of honor ever again. It's the worst unpaid internship I've ever had. Guys, back before the pandemic, I used to leave my house to go to work, which I just started doing again. I can't tell you how much it's stressing me out. But I used to work at a school. All sorts of interesting things used to happen at the school. Sometimes I'd have meetings with the parents of students. One day I had a meeting with the father of one of our students, and I walked out of my office and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Wynter." And I stuck out my hand because back then that's what civilized people used to do. And he just looked at me. Now, he didn't do that thing that people do where they're like, "Oh, I'm just getting over a cold," or "Oh, I don't shake hands, germs." He just looked at me. So I looked at him and he looked at me and I looked at my hand and he looked at my hand. And then it occurred to me, oh, he's not going to shake my hand. And then I was like, wait, is he not shaking my hand because I'm a woman? Or is he not shaking my hand because I'm Black? Is he not shaking my hand because I'm a woman? Or is he not shaking my hand because I'm Black? Is he not shaking my hand because I'm a woman? Or is he not shaking my hand because I'm Black? I figured it out. He didn't shake my hand because he's a jerk, and that's why his wife left him. That joke is mostly for me. That's my little revenge. Because my aunt, my mother's sister, died not too long ago. And as we've talked about tonight, losing a relative is really tough. But I'm often comforted by her last words to me. "You've gained weight." Guys, let me tell you. Let's talk about my mom one more time. So my mom, in the before pre the apocalypse, my mother had a run-in, as she sometimes does, with a woman at a restaurant about her dog. Now, here in California, people are very comfortable with their dogs. They take them everywhere with them, take them to the bank, they take them to the salon, take them to the mall. I've seen more dogs at Whole Foods than I've seen at PetSmart. So this woman sits down next to my mother with a dog in her bag in a restaurant. My mother says, no, you cannot sit here. Dogs are not allowed in restaurants. And then the conversation took a turn. The woman looks at my mother. She says, "You don't like white people?" Now my mother, in her quest for cleanliness, has had her say in diners and sandwich shops all over this great land, railing against dirty bathrooms and questionable spots on silverware, from Subway to Denny's, from five-star restaurants to mom and pop joints. She has offended Jews, Gentiles, Protestants, Catholics, Sunnis, Shiites in her battle against bacteria. However, no way this woman could have known that. My mother is also not above being facetious if she feels the situation calls for it. So she looks at the woman without missing a beat. She says, "It's not that I don't like white people. I don't like white dogs." That's my mom building bridges between the races. Okay, people, let me leave you with this. Celine Dion can sell any song. This is how I know. In her Las Vegas Spectacular show, she sang the song "I Wish" by Stevie Wonder. Now, for those of you who don't know, the very first line of that song, "Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy." When was that, Celine? When? You guys made me feel like maybe I'm still a comedian. I appreciate you. Please support World Kitchen. Thank you so much. I've been Wynter Spears.
Oh, so good, Wynter. Yay! Oh, Lindsey, This has been a good show.
Oh, this has been wonderful. Thank you all so much
fabulous.
for being here.
Yeah. Tom, yeah, that's great. You can spotlight us both. Thank you again, everybody, for donating and joining us tonight, for our comics, for coming and laughing. Lindsey, amazing set, just such good stuff. This has been a treat. I think we deserve a little announcement for how much we will be donating to World Central Kitchen. Let's do a drum roll on your table or whatever you're sitting at. What's our grand total, Lindsey?
Oh shoot, I sent it to you. I believe it is $825.
Wow.
That's some meal.
Oh my gosh, that is going to do some good for people who really, really need it. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Please support these comics, be it in person or virtually. We're still doing stuff online, and if you can get out to see everybody at a show, do that too. We're going to kick around for a bit and chat. If you feel like yakking with us, grab a drink, join us. But if not, thank you for coming and have an awesome night. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye, everyone.